Holy cow, YouTubers, it's Boss Magnus here with another Magic the Gathering Arena video for your viewing or listening pleasure. So, as you can see, I'm well on my way doing my Sunday dailies here on my brand new account. Only gold, no gems, completely free to play, will not pay a dime on this account. I do have another account that I put some dollars into because, it's a hobby. You pay for your hobby. Yeah, you don't get the cards for real, but honestly, the ability to find a game whenever, wherever is pretty peak. I'll just say that. So we've got our quests here: cast 20 red or green, 20 blue or green. That kind of limits me to black-white if I don't want to actually finish these, which I don't because I want to re-roll these, hopefully, to get 750 gold quests. So today I want to try and work in the constructed rank in bronze tier here that I am. And as you can see, I've already played a little bit. And I'm going to start with a black-white deck then. Now this Vampiric Hunger deck, which you actually get for free, is a pretty decent deck. And I think the life gain strategy is probably one of the better ones to use. Just because of the kinds of decks that you're going to see on the ladder. There's going to be a lot of aggressive decks, a lot of fast decks, a lot of decks that try to burn you out. And if you can offset that with just a little bit of life gain, you have the opportunity to kind of last. You have a chance to play more of a mid-game kind of strategy rather than an aggressive one. Plus, it usually skews towards low casting cost creatures, which means you can get something out, and if nothing else, you can block with your creatures. So I'm going to start with this Vampiric Hunger, but I'm going to do something here. We're going to do a, let's call it Vampiric Hunger Live Updated. Oh, that's too long. I don't like that. I'm going to call it Tweaked. How about that? Vampiric Hunger Tweaked. And let's just do some live tweaks on this. So one of the things I want to look for in a deck is you want to look at your enablers and your payoffs. So lifelink, gaining life is a enabler. It's a strategy unto itself because it actually helps you gain life to offset damage, lets you stay around longer. But we want cards that have something to do with when you gain life, you get something. Do you draw a card? Does it get a counter? Do you get to scry? Something like that. So to search for those, we're going to type in when gain life. Now you could type in whenever gain life. So for example, on this card, Hinterland Sanctifier, it says whenever another creature you control gain life, right? So whenever you gain. But if you say whenever, it will not catch the cards that say when. So let me show you that. So Charming Prince says when this creature enters. So if I said whenever, Charming Prince shouldn't show up anymore. And as you can see, it doesn't. So that's just a little trick that if you're trying to build and you're trying to look at those payoffs, you want to look for when. So if we're trying to gain life, what's the payoffs for that? So when we gain life. So Ajani's Pridemate is a good payoff. So whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. The reason this is good is because it is whenever. Cat Collector, it's also a good payoff whenever you gain life for the first time during each of your turns. Create a 1/1 creature token. So it only happens on your turn. It doesn't happen on an opponent's turn. And it only happens the first time. So as you can see, this is not nearly as good of a payoff as this, but it's a very different payoff. This only makes Ajani's Pridemate bigger. This one brings in more creatures. The other thing that you got to think about here is this could be a trigger for more payoffs, because you might have something that says when a creature enters or when a token enters or something like that. So we'll keep an eye out for those two. But right now, we're looking for payoffs of when we gain life. We're also looking at kind of keeping our mana curve low. So we've got creatures entering, gain us life. We might add that. Creatures entering, gain us life, right? So that's more life gain. Inspiring Overseer, not a bad card. 2 power, gain a life, and draw a card, so it replaces itself. Let's see if we have any other payoffs here. I like Gumdrop Poisoner. So with 1 black mana, it's not that hard to cast. We can see we got Phyrexian Arena here, which I actually want to take out because it has 2 black. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how good the mana is that's in here. But it is lifelink, which again enables the more life gain. But also, when it enters, based on how much life I've gained, I can actually take out a creature. So I'm going to add this to the mix. Now let's see what we've got here. Marauding Blight Priest. Whenever I gain life, an opponent loses 1 life. So it's not for each life I gain, which isn't as good. Plus, it's a 3-mana creature for 3/2, a 3/2 mana, 3/2 creature for 3 mana. So let's see what else we've got over here in the black and white. When this is face up, another creature gets life gain. That's not good. Okay, so we've already got lands that gain us life, so that's good. Wisp-Drinker Vampire. Whenever a creature with power 2 enters, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, so that's whenever. That's not bad. So, you know what? I'm going to put this in the side. I'm going to put this as a consideration in the sideboard. And, you know what? I haven't played with Fiendish Panda, but that seems like it's good. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1, and when it dies, you can return another non-bear card with mana value less than or equal to its power from the graveyard to the battlefield. So let's throw in another one of those. And that looks like it. When it was discarded energy gain 2 life, don't want to play that. Okay, so we've got that. Another flyer to gain some more life, but we don't have too many payoffs here, do we? So we have some tricks in here. We don't, unfortunately, have another one. Now, I could do this. I could add another Johnny's Pride Mate. I have some wild cards, but I'm going to try and show you what I can do without the wild cards. The other thing that we can look at here is, do we have more of these cards? So as you can see, I've got 4 Healer's Hawks. Got 4 Moments of Craving. That's not bad. Creature removal, that also gains me life. I don't like this because I have to attack with it, and I don't think it's going to be able to last very long. Okay, so if I have the Vengeful Blood Witch, I guess I don't care too much if things are going to die. So I want to think about how I can maybe bring creatures back from the graveyard too. I like the Inspiring Overseer because it draws me cards. If I'm gaining life, Phyrexian Arena isn't bad because I'm losing life. To draw the card, target opponent sacrifice a creature of their choice. You gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Okay. Mortify. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Twin Blade Paladin. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter. Okay, that seems good, but it's also way up there. Mana cost. Okay, so one of the things I mentioned was, it seems like if I'm playing the Vengeful Blood Witch, I don't mind creatures going to the graveyard. So, there's a card called Raise the Past, which I don't have on this account, but return all creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is another way to kind of play this. It's life gain, and then there's also another card, a bat, that when you gain life, your opponent loses life. So creatures entering gain life after you play this. So basically, you don't care if everything dies and goes to the graveyard because you cast this and you bring it all back. And when it enters the battlefield, you have all these triggers. You gain all this life, and your opponent loses all this life. But we don't have that, so that's not how our deck is going to work. Well, let's see here. I'm going to type in gain life and see what else we've got. So this is not a whenever or when we gain life. But like, here's another cat that if I have 3 or more creatures, I get +1/+1. And we got Angel Vitality. If I gain life, I gain that much +1. The creature is +2/+2 as long as I have 5 or more life. I don't think that's very good because I don't think it's very reliable for me. Makeshift Binding is removal exile target creature only, but not a permanent. You gain life as a result of doing that. Let's see here. Virtue of Persistence. I must have opened this somewhere, so that's got to go in because it's removal as well as a long-term solution to bringing things back from the grave. Now, you know what? We got 67 cards here. I added some things, mostly creatures. I think I'm going to get rid of the Moments of Triumph. I don't really like that as a trick. Hinterland Sanctifier, I mean, it's a 1-drop, but I'd rather have the Healer's Hawk as my 1-drop. I mean, I'd like to have more 1-drops. So, I mean, if I look at 1-drops creatures that we've got here, the Hinterland Sanctifier, I mean, Tiny Bones, Death Touch. Must have opened that in a pack somewhere. Novice Spectre is a good card, but, you know, we're not trying to create tokens, investigate artifact clue tokens. So I think this is probably good. So I have 10 non-creature spells. I think I probably need to cut something here at the top end. Having 25 more life or more, I don't think that's going to really happen. So basically he's just trying to make this a +1/+1. And quite frankly, that roughly the same mana cost. Yeah, it's double color, but it's still a total of 4 mana. This is also gaining life and putting +1/+1. And yes, it's a 3/2 instead of a 3/3. But when this dies, that's a solid payoff. So I'm actually going to get rid of both of those. And let's see, one more card to get rid of. Got 26 creatures. So if we're looking at this from a 60-card deck, you know, got 25 land. That's actually quite a bit of land instead of 24. You get rid of a land. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. So what is our distribution of land? Or excuse me, distribution of colors, 23 and 19. So we're more white than black. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 double black cards and no double white cards. So our 1-drop is a white. I'm going to get rid of a swamp. We'll call it done. Okay, let's see how this goes. I have no idea. As you can see, I did this live. Spent 10, 15 minutes trying to do this. Let's see how it goes. Events. No, fine match. Ranked. Standard ranked. Vampiric Hunger tweaked. Let's play. See what happens. Okay. Thanks again for watching one of my videos. You might be the first subscriber if you choose to subscribe. We'll see. 615 Sosa. 615. Is that an area code for Chicago? You Sammy Sosa fan? Is that what that is? I don't know. I got 2 lands. This enters tapped, which stinks. But, yeah, I can't dump it. We'll go with it. See what happens. I'm going to say hello. Hello. Hopeful fan of Sammy. So, let's look at these. Those are pretty cool. I like that. Maybe a fan of red. Okay, so now I have a choice. I don't need to play this, but I'm going to play this so that I can do double Healer's Hawk. Now, this is a avatar that I got free. Like I said, free to play. This is the free to play sleeves. So with this avatar and these sleeves, that to me says either they are not free to play or they just have played a lot longer. Either way, it's absolutely fine. Oh, double pick your poison. Ouch. That hurts. Okay, let's draw extra cards. Start paying the price. Yeah, so this is Boss Magnus. If you get rid of the little line, Boss Magnus, that's my main account. What? Do you just have cards that are just meant to destroy what I'm trying to do over here? I got nothing going on now. 615 Sosa in your mono green. You play red sleeves, but you don't play any red cards. Tricky, 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 tricky. Tribute to Hunger. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. No good. Next. I might be in some trouble here if, I have all these creature removal spells and they have no creatures. There they go. There's a creature. Okay, so I could do that, but I don't need to do that. I could do that. I'm going to not do that. That's also... Instead, I'm going to do that one. So I'll pass my turn. Before I do that, I'm just going to do that. Oops, I should have been paying attention. Oops, that's what happens when you don't pay attention. Okay, Elena, lifelink, hexproof. Let's go. Let's see how this goes. So, her special ability is she gets an additional 5/5 as long as your life total is 10 greater than your starting life total. So a neat little trick with her is that it will actually trigger in the middle of deciding combat. So he can probably pump the gnarled colony. I say he, I don't know if it's he. They can pump the gnarled colony. So I don't want them to do that. So instead, I'm going to have them sacrifice it. So I gain a life. And then I'm going to attack. And now she's bigger. That seems like a good play. Okay. Doesn't have any creatures. This might be it. I don't know. $42-5. This is cray carry. We'll keep that on top. Is that it? Okay. Well, I'll say good game. Thanks. So, as you can see, that was... Oh! Rank up! Less bronze! Yay, us! As you can see, that was just a slightly tweaked version of that deck. And I got another level up, claim, another pack. Let's see what the pack is. Foundations. Okay, so I'm running this Untapped GG. Not a sponsor. Would love for them to become a sponsor one day. But it allows me to see I've got 448 out of the 2048 cards. I've collected 21.8% of it. And when I hit this, it goes to 22.2 because I got more cards. That's my first of that, my first of that, my first of that. And I got a Drake Catcher. And then it also opens this up, says discover 1+ decks using this card. So I could do that if I wanted to. I'll go to the Mastery Pass. Did I get another orb? Do I have 2 orbs? No, I just have 1. Okay, let's go back. Let's play. Let's play another standard ranked. Vampire Hunger tweaked. Let's see what we can do here. It is Sunday night for me here, playing against Nitromnevets. Okay, I am going to mulligan because I want white mana as well. One of each, that's a good start. So I'm going to keep 6, and I'm going to mulligan one of my Fiendish Pandas because I'm far away from casting that anyway. So this is Stephen Martin. Oh my gosh, is it actually Steve Martin? The wild and crazy guy. I don't think it is. That would be really cool if it was. Not gonna lie. You know, it's interesting. I wonder who actually out there is playing Magic. Like, who he might be playing against that's famous. You go, oh, I had no idea I was playing them. I'm guessing if Steve Martin actually played, he would not call himself Nitromnevets. This is quite possibly still Steve Martin, but just, you know, a different Steve Martin, not the Steve Martin. Also looks like somebody might have been playing for a bit if they've got some different companions here. Oh. Devastating. But you're down to one card in hand. And that's okay with me. I'm going to go ahead and do this and create the food token. I'm not going to use it anytime soon, but then I'll have it available for me. No, I'm not going to block. You can keep attacking me with your mana dork. I'm fine with that. And I am just going to keep attacking. I'll lose one and gain one. I can use my Virtue Protection. I can take one of these out, but I don't want to. I'm assuming they're actually going to play a real threat. And maybe it's a real threat that I can actually kill with it. So I'm going to wait and see. I can live for a little while, hoping that I can draw my third land. That's not a land. That's another bird. But at least now I'm going to be offsetting the damage. They drew another mana dork. So they have 3 mana dorks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That feels gross. Feels like they're going to drop an Atali on my head. And I'm going to be up proverbial shit creek without a paddle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 6. So you know what? They might be able to do that. So let's just do this. Okay, well, you can pay 2 to have another dinosaur do something to me, but you don't have another dinosaur, so that's good. Bully for me. Okay, finally, I have 3 mana, so do I want to play the Dazzling Angel, which whenever that creature enters, I gain a life, or this, which gains a life and draws a card? So this can't block for shit, but this can, so let's do this one first. And then we'll attack with those 2. Okay, that is big. Mortify, destroy target creature enchantment, but that has ward 2, so that means I have to wait until I have 5 mana to do anything about that. Okay, so he's got 1 card in hand. He's got mana available. He probably has a trick. I don't want to block. I don't want to lose my angel. Okay, guess what? We're making a panda, and we're going to make it bigger. And we're swinging with our birds and our angel. And we're making the panda bigger. And... oh, that is a dinosaur. That is a big dinosaur. That is a big problem. And I am not going to block. Now, if only that said exile, because when this one dies, if it's not a token, create a token. Yeah. Okay. What should I do here? I got 4 mana available. When this creature enters, God, am I just gonna eat a big fat one here? Is that what's gonna happen? Let's do this. Maybe I can draw land. Land would probably be good, so I can start doing more things. So that's 8. Can block, unless he's got that trick that I think he has. So far, this Fiendish Panda is looking pretty decent. Just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. 3, 4, 5 mana. I can mortify. you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I think the panda is the only thing that's holding him back right now. So I gained 2 life. So I could gain 5. No, that's not going to be enough. Let's just, I don't think he's got any sweepers. Let's just do this. That's 6. Yep. Nevitz, what you got? You got 20 points? I don't know. I guess we're going to see. Pass to blockers. Block that one. I doesn't have trample. See what happens. Yep, had a trick. Gives a trample. Not enough. Okay, but they gained some life. They drew a card. Another land. And Polani's Hatcher, which they probably would have loved to have had at the beginning. Not sure that is enough. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just go. And so this not only is going to make these creatures, but it's going to give in haste. So I'm going to sacrifice the food to gain life. And then this gives me a -5. So I'm going to cast that. I'm going to take out the Hatcher. Okay, what you got, Nitram Nevitz? Nothing for the Flyers. I'm going to block the biggest thing, and then I'm going to block the next biggest thing. And I think that's going to be a good game for you, right? Let's cast that. Trigger, 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 trigger. He says good game. I say good game too. Hey, I won. Sweet. Okay. Bronze tier 2. Well, I think that is enough for now. I'm going to probably grind out another couple games of this offline. Appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed the content, if you enjoy what I have to say, like, subscribe, throw some comments in there. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me to go screw off or something. I don't know. I'm just giving this a try. I'm learning how to do this. Fan of other YouTubers, I'll say. Fan of playing Magic. Figured I'd go ahead and talk about what I'm doing. Maybe somebody will get something out of it. Anyway, take care of yourselves. I appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.